My name is Sarah, and I'm in the very beginning stages of taking my art business from something brand new and itty bitty, teeny tiny, and turning it into something real that can help me transition away from my pretty demanding 9-to-5 that I currently have and support the slow-paced, flexible, sustainable life that I'm really working towards. And in today's video, what I wanted to do was give you kind of a behind-the-scenes tour of my studio space. You can imagine being at these very early stages of this art business journey. My studio space is nothing really fancy, and in fact I work from my kitchen. So I wanted to walk you through what my setup looks like and the realities of what these beginning stages really look like for me and kind of what I'm able to pull off in this awkward space that I have right now. My hope is that one day I can look back at this video and have a beautiful art studio space that's just for my painting and video creation and all of these other things and kind of see how far I've come. But you know, you have to start somewhere, and that's where I am right now. So with that, I just want to walk you through all of the bits and pieces that I have in my studio space and just show you what it takes to get it all done. So I wanted to start by giving you kind of an overview of the whole space, which is obviously my kitchen. And this kitchen table right here is truly where I spend like 95% of my life. I've done my very best to cover up my landlord's amazing paint job with all kinds of paintings that I've made. So I'll show you more of those as we go through this tour here, but here's a big picture overview. I think it's a lot more fun like this, at least if you ask me. Oh, and my supervisor Pumpkin is here to make sure I'm doing a good job. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm going through a big dessert painting phase, and these are some goodies made by Cloudy Kitchen, and I'm obsessed. I love them so much. And I actually painted a ton of other pastries earlier this year, like way back in January when I was just a little baby newbie, and so they all look good together. Now, in addition to my food illustration here, you'll see I have bits and pieces of my surface pattern design work kind of all over my kitchen. So I've got some artwork from this Under the Sea theme I have, and some of these bright, colorful florals, and some other random bits and pieces. And I'll come back to the patterns in a second, but this is a project I'm in the middle of right now, and I'm so psyched about it. I'm basically painting the technical challenge every week from the Great British Baking Show this new season, and so this was the week 1 technical, and I'm super excited. I have a really random assortment of paintings on this side cabinet here. I also have this roll to paint activity I made several months ago. I never really did that much with it, but the idea was I would use a D20 and a D6, I think, to roll some color palettes and word ideas to create a prompt for myself. And I only painted one painting like this, that's this one, but I'm keeping it around just in case. Next, I have this portrait I painted following a tutorial by Emily Hughes Art. And then I have this really cute print by Art by Shaw. Okay, back to my walls. I have this apple painting that me and my partner Nick did together. And then right next to that, I have all of these goals that I wrote down at the beginning of 2023. So this is kind of fun. It's been on my wall since the beginning of the year, and I'm doing pretty well on my goals so far. Okay, surprise, surprise, I have more pattern design artwork on the wall here. And because we're in my kitchen, I also have this pizza peel here that I actually made. This is the only woodworking project I've ever done before, and I did it with my dad, but I'm proud of it. And the rest of the art I have here is related to patterns, like this one. This is my very first manual repeat. So I keep basically all of my work in progress stuff on this tiny counter here. I like to keep all this stuff out so that it's as easy as possible for me to paint. And I'm currently working on these pink buns and also a pet portrait right now. So this is Tucker. My cats have been helping out with this one, as you can see. I used to try and keep this counter clean, but I actually found that it's a lot harder to do art when you have to dig everything out of a drawer, so here we are. Anyway, these are what I use to hold my water when I paint. I'm really putting my mason jars to use over here. And I also have a bunch of paints just sitting here on this counter. So that was some Van Gogh watercolor. These are some Arteza pastel gouache. I actually have hardly used this set like at all. But this one, the Sui gouache, I use this one relatively often. I like it a lot. But I would say my main player these days is this Turner acryl gouache. This is what I use for that pet portrait, for all those pastries. I am loving this. This is where I wipe off my brushes. And then I have my Prismacolors here that I've literally had for like 8 years now. And I've basically made every painting I've ever created with these 3 brushes. So these are the Silver Brush Black Velvet, and I have sizes 0, 2, 4, and 8. And I just got this pencil from like a grocery store, but I love it for sketching out everything. Oh god, my supervisor saw that. So because we're balling on a budget over here, this is a ring light that I have that I put like a trash bag over the top. I saw someone else do this to diffuse the light, and I think it works pretty well. And speaking of lighting, this is what I use for all of my overhead shots, especially for like my Instagram reels and stuff like that. It's a pretty inexpensive mount here, but it has a few different color options for this light. And honestly, it does the trick. I've been using it for many months now, and you know, I put it to work, but it's held together for me so far. And honestly, when I work from home for like my 9 to 5, I actually use this all the time for my Teams calls too. So I wanted to show you my computer setup, which is always at this kitchen table. And I have a 2018 MacBook Pro. This mouse is awesome. This is a Logitech MX Anywhere, I think, and it's worked super well for me. I actually love it, and you'll see I'm in Photoshop as I am for so much of my computer time. This multi-port is also really great because it allows me to connect to my drawing tablet and also download videos from my SD card, so I love it. And this solid state drive is honestly a key part of what I do. I love it so much. It's 2 terabytes, obsessed. So back to my walls, this is some artwork by my friend Caroline, love it. And then some decorative paper from Rifle Paper Co., also very beautiful. And I also have the beginnings of a slowly ongoing project where I'm going to paint endangered plants from every state. So I recently posted a video about my plan to replace my current full-time income with my art business, and these are all of the little tiny steps that I outlined in that video, and so I have them laid out on this wall. My vision here is that I can like cross them out in a really visible way. I love checking stuff off of a list, you know? And it's really helpful to have all of these in a space where I literally walk by like dozens of times every single day. Okay, moving over to my living room. No place like directly next to my vacuum to show off my first pet portraits. So that's my supervisor, her mama, and her sister. And I'm sorry, that's very shaky. But this shelf and the drawer you're gonna see in just a minute is where I keep like all of my art supplies. So here's a ton of Sharpies, a bunch of random like pencils and paintbrushes. I do like these long ones here. I also have one here that I left the plastic covering on, and my cats took care of that, so thank you, kitties. This clock is from my friend Kara's Redbubble shop. I love it so much. I think I got this little container at Flying Tiger in Ireland, but I just have some more paintbrushes in there. And then these are my go-to watercolor sets. Honestly, this one, this Essence by Art Philosophy, is what I've used for like 90% of my watercolor paintings, and it's really lasted for such a long time. My friend Julia got me these for my birthday, and I've been scared to use them, but I've learned so much about color mixing, so I can do it. My friend Hannah got me this bag, and I use it whenever I bring my watercolors out and about, so it's great for that. And my handy dandy ruler is really starting to wear off, and I just realized I have some stuff on my hand, oops. Another mason jar lid, because can't have enough of those, and my kneaded eraser, love it. So if you thought that I had a lot of paintings on my walls, I mean, you're right, but I have a lot of them stored in this container. Like another one of my first pet portraits. There's my baby supervisor. and some of my early messy paintings. This is a weird era where I thought I was going to do greeting cards. I made a pattern out of those giraffes. I never did anything with that painting. This I did make a lovely pattern out of, so that's fun. And I have a few books here as well. So this is my immersion workbook, Bonnie Christine's signature surface pattern design course that I took earlier this year. So I keep this on hand for reference. And our graduation gift from immersion was this little notebook with our own artwork on it from Denique. And in this notebook, I've handwritten several email newsletters that have not gone out yet. So working on that. And I love this watercolor book. It's called Fleurs et végétaux à l'aquarelle, and it is in French, but even if you don't speak French, the step-by-step images are still so easy to follow, and it just helps me so much when I can't imagine like what a flower looks like. And surprise, surprise, more paintings. So I go back to this orange one all the time, and these are some cocktails that I painted for my friend's wedding. And this is a very exciting package I just received from T-Mail that holds some prints that I just ordered, so updates to come on that soon. Okay, and this drawer is where everything else is kind of shoved. So I've got that paper cutter and then a ton of watercolor paper. It kind of looks like a Mary Poppins bag in here. Like, it keeps coming. How does this drawer hold so much watercolor paper? Including like random sheets of paper I have here and some unopened paper pads. But listen, I need a lot of paper and I go through a lot of it. This pad of paper is literally from high school, and I did 2 drawings in it. I started this Beauty and the Beast one and never did anything with it. And this is my very first pad of watercolor paper, so I think this is the first animal I ever painted and some of my very first flowers here. Shockingly, there's more stuff in this drawer, including my drawing tablet. So this is a Huion, actually I need to look up the model, and also my CanoScan Lide 300. And my old hard drive is in here and some random stuff related to that drawing tablet that I have. So finally, I kind of wanted to show you my painting setup. So I'm working on that pink bun, and this is my DIY Stay Wet palette, and it's literally just folded up paper towel that I soak and then put parchment paper on top. And that's that acryl gouache, and it's been on there for 2 days. It's amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing my quote-unquote studio, aka my kitchen and my living room. And I love that I've been able to figure out how to make this space work for me over time. So if you are interested to know more about how I'm planning to turn my art business into my full-time career, go ahead and check out this video where I walk through my plan to replace my current full-time income with my art business. So with that, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon for the next one.